All right, and welcome in, everybody. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take coming at you with my Week 18 recap. And I gotta tell you, it's sad. The regular season is over, and just like that, it's gone. Like literally, we woke up one morning, it was September, on a Sunday afternoon, and now it's gone. The season's over. Like, where did it go? What happened here? Like, 1 week, I woke up, watched Cam Ward's first NFL start against the Broncos, and watched that disaster. And then I woke up the next morning, and he's over. The Cam Ward's rookie season's over. I don't get to watch Titans football for another 9 months. Where did the time go? What happened? It sucks. It's sad. It's so bittersweet because the season was so good. There were so many great games, especially here in this last week of the season, and it sucks. It sucks that it's gone. I don't ever want it to go away. I don't want to have to sit here for 9 months without watching a Titans football game that's meaningful, man. But here we are. But with something ending, something also has to come along to take its place. And the NFL playoffs taking its place might be the best possible thing to happen, because the playoffs are already great. But let me tell you, this might be the best playoffs in history. That might be a bit of a stretch, but I'm not going to put it past it. This playoffs is going to be so freaking good. But we're not here to talk about the playoffs. We're here to talk about Week 18 and what happened in this final week of the season. Week 18 was a little better than what I thought it was. I thought it was going to mostly suck, and there were a lot of games that did straight up suck. But there was a lot of good ones in here. There were some games with interesting storylines, and I think it was a solid week to close out the season overall, so I can't really complain too much about that. What I am going to complain about, though, is my predictions, and we're going to give you the final prediction for the Shoemake Take this year, picking games. While I went 100% picking in my top 4 games of the week, so yay me, that's where it ends, because I did not finish the year strong. I went 9-7 picking these games, and after the early window, I was going to be sick. I thought, oh my god, I only had a couple games right. It was a disaster, an absolute, whatever word you want to use. It was an absolute dumpster fire. And then the second half of the games, the 4 o'clock games, got a little better and helped round things out a little bit. But this is what I get for being unprepared for teams that are sitting which players. I should have done more research into which teams were going to sit which players, and that really would have helped my predictions, because a lot of these games that I got wrong were because I didn't prepare and do my research. So for that, I am sorry. Most accurate and detailed predictions, am I right? Yeah. Someone said that, and that person's pretty stupid right now. But I finished the regular season, or I finished this week. That brought me to 165 and 105. Add 2 games that I somehow missed, because 105 plus 165 is 270. There's 272 games. So I had to go back and comb through which ones I missed, found them, and that brings my final total picking games to 166 and 106. So, yeah, I broke the 100 loss mark. That sucks, but on the year, I finished picking 61% of my games correct. That's fine. I'm not going to settle for it, but honestly, given how up and down the season was, especially with how hard it was picking games, you know what? I'm surprised that wasn't worse. I'm going to be honest with you. And the thing is, I try to pick games as accurate as I can. I really rack my brain about who is going to win each matchup. And for this year just made it super hard. There were so many games that straight up just did not go as I expected. And quite frankly, I like it. I kind of like being wrong, because in being wrong, you learn something about yourself. You learn more about failure, learn about yourself from failure than you do from success. But also, there are some games in there that, quite frankly, I was glad I got wrong. There was plenty in there. I'll have to go back through and specifically see which ones, but I'm not going to complain about it too much. Of course, I wanted it to be better, but I'm not going to complain. I'm really not going to. Right now is a time to really be happy, not really be sad that the NFL season's over and And, oh, the record prediction could have been better. No, like, we're going to be happy that it happened. And with that being said, I think that's all I got for you before we go into this recap. Just wanted to talk to you guys about how I felt about Week 18. The fact that the season's over is sad. Regular season over, I should say. And then seeing how my playoff, what am I talking about here? How my final regular season predictions went. So with that being said, all the mumbo jumbo and stumbling aside, let's break down Week 18. And as we say, for the final time in the regular season, let it recap. Starting with number 4, the Broncos clinched the 1 seed in a 19-3 victory over the Chargers. And fun fact, the last time Denver was the 1 seed, they won Super Bowl 50. Do what you want with that. Moving to the Chargers, though, they really didn't have much of a chance with Trey Lance. And key one was to help him out. And you tell me, is this helping Trey Lance? I don't think so, and it doesn't get any better with key 2, continuing the ground game success. They ran a design run 11 times for 44 yards. I'm sorry, that's not good enough for a whole game. Trey Lance did more with less carries, and to me, that should not happen. Key 3 was a different story, though. This defense was stingy indeed, and they made Denver earn almost everything, which I wanted to see. The Chargers are still in the playoffs, but you'd rather not be limping in, and they finished 2025 at 11-6. Good for them. How does it feel, Denver, being the number 1 seed? I can see the energy and excitement, and Mile High is going to be rocking in 2 weeks. Back to this game, key 1 was to have long, methodical drives, and outside of a couple, there wasn't much past that. They won time of possession mostly because the Chargers' offense sucked worse. Definitely wanted to see more here. Key 2, however, was much better pressuring Trey Lance. They got after him all game long, really exposing LA's offensive line. Much better performance here, and the best part of their win, Key 3, not letting momentum swing. In a close game like this, the best thing you can do is stay clean, and they did. No turnovers, didn't give LA great field position. They made sure to drag them in the mud, and it worked. Denver finishes with a 14-3 record. Can't wait to see what they can do in the postseason. Now this one was bizarre. The Bucs win 16-14 over the Panthers in the pouring rain, and for Carolina, it was about a year where I thought they could come back and win this game. Big catch by Ted McMillan, but honestly, they sold hard. Key 1 was to force takeaways, and they did get one. Roseboom picked off Baker, and they went on to score a touchdown, which is exactly what you want. They did good. Key 2, attacking the corners, even better. Bryce Young made plenty of nice throws, and Tampa's secondary struggled. Too bad they straight up refused to run the ball, and the lack of it showed at times. What a horrible game plan. And that brings us to Key 3, where Carolina truly sold the game. They did not take care of their business. Bryce Young threw an interception, and then they fumbled in the fourth quarter, allowed Tampa to hold on to their lead the whole game. And thank God Atlanta won. That puts the Panthers in the playoffs at 8-9 despite the loss. The Rams rematch is going to be tough. As for you, Tampa, you're not getting out of this one unscathed either. Had this game been against another opponent, it would have been most certainly a loss. But they did handle their business and win this game, which they needed to. Key 1 for them was no turnovers, and the aforementioned Baker pick was horrible, and it led to points. You cannot have that in this moment. Key 2, though, big bounce back for this run game. While not flashy, it was enough to help their pass game a bit, and more importantly, control the clock. They put a stranglehold on Carolina all game, and it kept the ball out of their offense's hands. Lastly, with Key 3, this secondary fighting for their lives. They struggled in this game, but credit where it's due. They forced a turnover, and they were awesome on third down, and that was enough to win. Tampa also finishes with an 8-9 record, but despite the win, a Saints loss means they missed the playoffs, and not that they deserved it anyways. Now, number 2, Seattle ran over San Fran, literally 13-3, and like I mentioned with Denver, I cannot wait to see this team in 2 weeks. Lumen Field is also going to be crazy. But you know what else was crazy? The run game. Starting with Key 1, Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. They were so fun to watch. Both went over 100 total yards. They carried this offense to 180 rushing yards. What a clutch performance. And it gets better. Key 2 was to stop Christian McCaffrey, and not only did they hold him to 57 total yards, they picked off his bobble too. Seattle shut down the few weapons the 49ers had left, and McCaffrey was on the forefront. Thirdly, Key 3, no turnovers. That's 3 for 3. They had 0 and gave the 49ers offense no chance to put serious points on the board, and they came away with the pick as a little cherry on top. Seattle finishes 14-3 atop the NFC. Congratulations. San Fran, you blew it. With home field advantage on the line, even through the Super Bowl, that's the performance you put up? Kyle Shanahan said himself this game was more important than any playoff game, by the way. Key 1, running the ball well. They did next to nothing. Only 53 yards. Hey, that's my lucky number. Key 2, limiting explosive plays. Yeah, 3rd and 17 is all you need to know. Lastly, with Key 3, pressuring Sam Darnold, it was mostly bad, but honestly, this defense overall pitched a winning performance. They had big plays, dominated in the second half. Their offense was the bigger stinker. 3 points with a division and the 1 seed on the line, and now you got to go on the road to Philly. Looks like a wild card exit to me. They finished the year 12-5. Moving to number 1, the Steelers escape with a 26-24 win for the division, and this ended up being the best game of the week for me. A great way to end the season. But for Baltimore, no playoffs for you. How did they blow it? It wasn't Key 1 though. The run game stepping up. Derrick Henry had another great game, 120 on the ground. Lamar had a couple of nice plays in there. They were great. Key 2 is where things fall apart. Their secondary was playing so good until the fourth quarter, and they just left the building. Straight up. Jesus, Cheeto got his ankle shattered. Good Lord. Key 3, controlling the clock. No. In the second half, they could not string long drives together and keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, and being honest, this should have never went down to Tyler Loop kicking the ball. Baltimore ends the year at 8-9, and John Harbaugh is fired? What are they doing? Pittsburgh, you are not any more impressive. I'm 99.9% sure this defense tried to lose this game. Like, are we serious? How? How do you let someone get this wide open? You see the box that Collinsworth drew on the screen? You see that? This coaching job should get someone fired. Thankfully, it won't be Jaylen Warren, who stepped up big time getting into Key 1. The run game needed to perform well, and Warren was productive and efficient. Also, shout out Kenneth Gainwell, though he was great in the passing game. Wanted to give him some credit. Continuing into Key 2, the skilled players overall stepped up big time. Adam Thielen, Pat Freiermuth, and once again, Calvin Austin. They had big-time plays in big-time moments. I'd pull a Mario jump too if I were Rodgers. Finally, Key 3, winning in the red zone. They won, going 2 for 4 and didn't allow one trip by the Ravens. Once again, this should not have come down to Tyler Loop's kick, but geez, this collapse you see right here should have lost them the game. But it didn't, and they finished 10-7 and have a tall task facing Houston next week. So with that out of the way, that is the Week 18 recap in the top 4 games. What happened throughout the rest of the week? We'll look at the games that had playoff seeding implications, and then we will look at the rest of the slate. Moving up the seed changes first. Colts, Texans. Texans win 38-30 in a thriller. The only game that I would argue was better than Baltimore-Pittsburgh. The Texans had a really tough, gritty win. Riley Leonard, though, in his first start, ended up playing pretty darn well. That his first career touchdown to Alec Pierce was beautiful. And then Packers, Vikings. Vikings win 16-3. Packers rested their starters for the most part. There's where my lack of preparation got me. Vikings finish with a strong end to the season for the most part, so that's positive going into next year. And then Titans, Jaguars. Jaguars win 41-7, clinch the AFC South for the first time since 2022. Congratulations to them. You deserve it. But honestly, that late hit on Cam Ward probably should have been a flag. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, come on. That was just cheap. But it is what it is. Cam Ward had them tied 7-7. Brandon Allen had them 41-0. But that is that. Commanders, Eagles. Commanders win 24-17. Again, Philly rested their starters. They did not play very many guys. Washington should have came away with this game. They won it, so good for them to finish the season strong. Lions, Bears. Lions upset 19-16 in a game where the Bears did play their starters, and that's why I thought they would win this game, because the number 1 seed was still on the table for them. I'm pretty sure it was. Was it not? No, at least they had the number 2 seed on lockdown. However, they could not get it done against Detroit. Detroit finishes the season strong. They finished 9-8, so they end up with a winning record. But this is a game the Bears should have won. Would have helped them out a lot. Then, Dolphins, Patriots. Patriots win 38-10. I completely forgot to, or completely didn't even realize that the Patriots weren't home. So, the entire thing about upset watch, yeah, that's my bad. There's no such thing as an upset watch if the Dolphins are playing in New England. That's a recipe for a Patriots destruction every single time. Sorry. Now we move to the regular games on the schedule. Browns-Bengals. Browns won 20-18. Myles Garrett sets the single season sack record with 23 sacks, so congratulations to him. He has been one heck of a player, and he deserves it. And then Saints-Falcons. Falcons win 19-17. That, in turn, knocks Tampa out of the playoffs, puts in Carolina, and even though they won 4 straight to finish the year, Falcons fire Raheem Morris, so take that for what you will. And then Cowboys-Giants. Giants win 34-17. Giants were playing really well for most of the game, and then after the second half, from what I heard, the Cowboys pulled their starters, and the Giants went on to absolutely destroy them, and Matt Eberflus, their Cowboys defensive coordinator, has been fired as he should be. Jesus Christ. That ended up aging horribly for them. Cardinals-Rams. Rams win 37-20, and just like I thought, I didn't think the Cardinals had any chance of winning this game. I just didn't see it, and I ended up being correct there. Chiefs-Raiders. The Raiders won 14-12. Wow! They're capable of winning a football game, I guess. And they clinched the first overall pick, so Heisman Mendoza will be on the way to Las Vegas, it looks like. And then lastly, Jets-Bills. Bills win 35-8. Again, didn't think the Bills or Jets had a chance against Buffalo. And, well, guess what? The Jets finished as the only team in NFL history to not record an interception in the regular season. What a horrible stat to finish Aaron Glenn's first year off of. Absolutely atrocious. So, with that being said, I got a little bit of bonus content for you. I want to give my thoughts on John Harbaugh's firing a little bit, and I might put this into its own clip and post it on the channel, but if you want to see it here first, here it is, because the news broke this afternoon, was it? Yeah, this afternoon, that John Harbaugh was fired. I got a brain fart because I was saying this afternoon. You guys are seeing this later than when I'm recording this, but this happened the day I'm recording this right now. But he gets fired, and quite frankly, I know that there's a lot of people that are thinking, yeah, it was time for a change, and the team wasn't really going anywhere. I mean, they were just really good, but that's it. I mean, a lot of the things that Mike Tomlin or people complain about Mike Tomlin, a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans seem to be complaining about John Harbaugh as well, but honestly, I don't agree with this move. I don't agree with it, and I don't know. If I'm the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens, am I going to make this decision, letting John Harbaugh walk away and run the risk of hiring a head coach that's worse, knowing full well that John Harbaugh is going to go to another team and turn them around and he's going to thrive? I know that. 100% he's going to thrive with another team. The question is who? Apparently, according to his agent, 45 minutes after the news broke that he was fired, 7 teams called asking like if they would be willing to come in for an interview, which is interesting because currently there are 7 head coaching openings. You can't include Baltimore because they just fired him, so obviously they're not trying to get him back. So that's 6 teams, all that have a head coaching vacancy. That makes sense. But then who's the 7th? A 7th team that inquired about John Harbaugh currently has a head coach. So within the next day or so, are we going to see another head coach get fired? Maybe Todd Bowles, Mike McDaniel, maybe? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I wonder who that mystery team is cheating on their current head coach, if you will. Ooh, getting a little interesting up in these parts. But honestly, firing John Harbaugh, I understand the reasoning that it was time to make a change. Kind of like if you remember Andy Reid's time and his end in Philly. That's kind of how people felt. But you don't take that risk. Not right now when you have a prime quarterback, Lamar Jackson in his prime. You have a good run game. You have pieces in place to compete for a championship. The thing is, Sure, Baltimore needs to reset a little bit. They need to really draft well on the defensive side of the ball, especially up front. They have not been able to do that recently, so here's hoping Mike Green can develop. But I don't know. The move seems ill-advised. After winning so many 10-plus win seasons in a row and absolutely dominating the AFC since Lamar Jackson got drafted for the most part, is it really smart to get rid of your head coach now? I don't think so. Like, I'm not against the move in terms of, yeah, it's time to move on, get a fresh start. I can get the reasoning, but right now, the timing of it just doesn't seem right to me. I don't understand it. I don't get that you're trying to get a new head coach and try and retool your roster. Yes, you need to do that, but with a new head coach, that makes it harder. It doesn't seem like a very smart decision right now. If Baltimore were to finish with the losing record and or miss the playoffs next year, now it would make a little bit more sense to me. But after having so many strong winning seasons under John Harbaugh, to finish with one losing record, they missed the playoffs for the first time since 2021, and it came down to a missed kick, and Baltimore also dealt with injuries, especially Lamar Jackson. I don't know if the timing was right. That's my whole shtick on this. So those are my quick thoughts on John Harbaugh getting fired. I don't really have much more to say after it. I'm not a Ravens fan, so I don't have a lot of insight into this side of the conversation. I'm just on the outside looking in, kind of giving my thoughts on how I feel about it. Don't think it was a smart decision. Well, that being said, now that is the official end of today's video. If you've made it this far and you like this type of content, you want to see more, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe buttons. It helps me out tremendously, trying to spread my football passion to more and more people here on the platform. So please do. I'd really appreciate it. And also, it's free. If it's free, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? Also, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. How are you feeling about your team? Are you guys excited for the offseason? Are you excited for the playoffs? Let me know what you guys are feeling about your teams down in the comments. Lastly, make sure you follow me on social media, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all those great social media platforms. Right? We love social media, for better or for worse. But with that being said, that is going to do it. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys oh so very much. Thank you for another great season of the Shoemake Take. Cannot wait to talk about the offseason with you guys and break down all the great stuff that's going to be happening here over these next few months. Also, of course, the playoffs too. Stay tuned. Later this week, you're going to see my wild card preview. So mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. So that being said, that is it. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys once again. And as always, I will see you all next time.